एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भव निर्वैर अकाल मूर्त जूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद। एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भव निर्वैर अकाल मूर्त जूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद। एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भव निर्वैर अकाल मूर्त जूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद। धन धन गुरु गोबिंद सिंह साहब महाराज, धन धन गुरु ग्रंथ साहब। हवाई बंदगी अबुरदार वजूद मरा भगरना ज़ौक़े चुनी आमदैन न साजो न बाजो न फौजो न फर्श खुदाबंद बख्शन दे हुए शर्श। वाहिगुरू जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह। We are visiting the Bani of Anand, Bani composed by Guru Amardas, presented by Guru Amardas, the third Guru Nanak at Goindwal. We have gone through 12 Pauris, Pauri meaning a step, 12 steps of this Bani. In total there are 40 Pauris. Today we will try and understand the 13th and 14th Pauri. The human endeavor, the human search, the human anxiety, the human stress is for what reasons? What is the core root value which we are all trying to understand or seek or know? And in that lies the questions of who am I? Where is my happiness? How I can be happy? What does it have to do with death and life? These questions visit us when we try and understand life. Today's Pauris are dealing with a subject which is, I think, most misunderstood about the spiritual quest of a human being. What is this quest we have, whether it is physical or spiritual? What are we seeking and why are we seeking it? Guru Amardas visits the core seeking of human birth, core seeking of human identity the reasons for it, and where do we get it? We all have a value system which we have created over time. We are dependent on certain energies, investments which we have made in life. Dependent in the sense, if I was to define life, I would visit those aspects which stimulate my life. In Gurbani, it is called ras. Where do I get my ras? Where do I get my stimulant? Some people will say my family, some will say my career, some will say a mix of my friends, career. These are all my energy systems, where I get stimulation from. And this is how I am defined. I am defined by what is lying at the fundamental aspect of my identity, my family. If you take all these away, then I will not be able to understand, define myself. Who am I? So far, I define myself with my environment. This is one aspect of life. But Guru Amar Das guides us towards a new way of defining ourselves. And that may be something which is very inherent with our spiritual quest. Why are we seeking spirituality? What is the reason we speak spirituality? Somebody is a very good cricketer. He invests in cricket. He puts in 14th Pauri, defines this confusion and this rarity of this visiting of Anand. The reason we are so mechanical about Anand is because we don't know this Anand. We imagine it. Most of us have not visited the state of Anand. It is a state of being, a state of a person. And as I had earlier mentioned in the discourses before this on Anand, it is conditionless happiness. So whenever there is a condition to a happiness, it is not Anand. I've mentioned that life is based on duality, good, bad, high, low, rich, poor, happy and successful. Now, happy and sorrow live together. So if we, in this physical world, seek happiness, we will be visited by sorrow. And then we will often say, why am I unhappy? The reason for being unhappy is our search for happiness. That's why the Guru takes us beyond happiness and sorrow. Sukh dukh ko tum sam kar jano. He tells us not to search in the physical world. And then the attitude of the Bhagat, the real Bhagat who has found this Anand, what is his approach towards the physical world and about the reality outside and how important it is. Our entire world is based on the physical realities of life, not on the spiritual, because we don't know the spiritual. To know the spiritual, we have to invest in the spiritual. You can't hear me? The problem with audio? Or only Indrajit has a problem? Can others hear me?
Voice is breaking. Video is pausing.
Okay, maybe let me change the... Is it better now? Can you hear me better now? Right. So what are we looking for? What is our core need for in life? And how is it defined? How is the investment in the spiritual going to happen? We don't know the spirit. We don't know our spirit. We don't know the spiritual realm. We only seek it when we are in pain, when we are in sorrow. Then we say, let me seek spirituality. More out of discontent with the physical world, moved out of rejection from the physical world, then a real earnest seeking into happiness or spirituality. It is not easy to seek spirituality. We don't know it. We don't know our man. So let's visit these two bodies, and then we discuss what Guru Amar Das is talking about. Somebody is to read the bodies?
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ
जी.
ਰਾਮਕਲੀ ਮਹਿਲਾ ਤੀਜਾ ਆਨੰਦ ਇੱਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਆਨੰਦ ਪਿਆ ਮੇਰੀ ਮਾਹੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਮੈਂ ਪਾਇਆ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਤਾ ਪਾਇਆ ਸਹਿਜ ਸਿੱਧੀ ਮਨ ਵਜੀਆਂ ਵਾਤਾਈਆਂ ਰਾਗ ਰਤਨ ਪਰਵਾਰ ਭਰਿਆ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਗਾਵਣ ਆਈਆਂ ਸਭ ਦੋਤ ਗਾਵੋ ਹਰਿ ਤੇਰਾ ਮਨ ਜਿਨੀ ਵਸਾਇਆ ਕਹੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਆਨੰਦ ਹੋਆ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਮੈਂ ਪਾਇਆ ਸੁਰ ਨਰ ਮੁਨ ਜਨ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਖੋਜਦੇ ਸੋ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਗੁਰ ਤੇ ਪਾਇਆ ਪਾਇਆ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਗੁਰ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕੀਨੀ ਸੱਚਾ ਮਨ ਵਸਾਇਆ ਜੀ ਜੰਤ ਸਭ ਤੁਧ ਉਪਾਏ ਇੱਕ ਵੇਖ ਪਰਸਣ ਆਇਆ ਲਵ ਲੋਭ ਅਹੰਕਾਰ ਚੁਕਾ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਭਲਾ ਪਾਇਆ ਕਹੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਜਿਸਨੂੰ ਆਪ ਤੁਠਾ ਤਿਨ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਗੁਰ ਤੇ ਪਾਇਆ ਸੁਰ ਨਰ ਮੁਨ ਜਨ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਖੋਜਦੇ ਸੋ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਗੁਰ ਤੇ ਪਾਇਆ ਪਾਇਆ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਗੁਰ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕੀਨੀ ਸੱਚਾ ਮਨ ਵਸਾਇਆ ਜੀ ਜੰਤ ਸਭ ਤੁਧ ਉਪਾਏ ਇੱਕ ਵੇਖ ਪਰਸਨ ਆਇਆ ਲਭ ਲੋਭ ਅਹੰਕਾਰ ਚੁਕਾ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਭਲਾ ਪਾਇਆ ਕਹੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਜਿਸਨੂੰ ਆਪ ਤੁਠਾ ਤਿਨ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਗੁਰ ਤੇ ਪਾਇਆ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ
Sur nar munjan amrit khojde. Guru Amar Das introduces a word today which is very relevant to understand. Amrit literally means no death. There is this tale of Alexander seeking nectar of immortality. He goes to a pond and a bird is sitting there. And before he eats, he drinks that nectar. The bird sitting on the perch, laughs at him. And he asks, why are you laughing? And she says, I'm laughing because I had this nectar. And I am now old, I'm aged, I'm ill, and I'm seeking death and I never get death. I'm miserable with life. I'm laughing that you will also be one more like me if you have this nectar. Amrit doesn't mean only beyond death. Amrit means a state of mind which never dies, a spirit which never dies and is full of Anand. Guru Maharaj is introducing us to the real seeking of happiness within us all. A happiness forever. We are always seeking happiness and we want it unconditionally forever. Maharaj says this entire world, every one of us, including the drug addict, the thief, the murderer, every one of us is seeking Amrit. Unconditional Anand, a state of happiness which is available beyond death. This makes it very interesting because what is death? How is death understood with reference to my life? Needs to be explored then. Death is a sudden change which takes away all my conditioned mind, All these choices I spoke about in life, which we'd make, about where I will get my stimulation from. All these choices, including family, career, money, wealth, if you really sit with yourself and analyze, you will find that there is a list of things which define us and our life, our happiness. If these things are taken care of, you feel, I'm content, till as long as we don't look at the other. I had a Mercedes today, and my neighbor got a bigger Mercedes. And that other element defines me, so it changes my needs. So this is called Trishna, no ending desire. When I'm defining myself with reference to the other, when the other defines me, and your Paul Sartre says, hell is the other people. When our life is defined by everything which is not in our control, which we don't have ability to understand, and this is a complete hell. So this happiness which we are seeking is built on our choices, but physical choices, what we see, hear, what we touch. And all this physical world which we live in is a changing world. Everything is changing here. Nothing is stationary. Nothing is in the same state as it was earlier. Everything keeps changing. So our source of happiness changes. Our happiness becomes sorrow because the condition of our happiness changes. So any happiness which is built on any condition is not really happiness. It is sorrow, camouflaged with happiness. Because it will ultimately end in unhappiness. It will end in sorrow. And death is this one change in life where everything, all these conditioned choices we had about our life, our wealth, our education, our social status, all of it is gone in a flash. There's nothing there which now defines us, which we chose. Anything of my choosing, death takes it away. And there's the reason for that. It's because I am not forever. I is a conditioned, temporary, transient being, not in permanent state. The only thing which makes this I permanent is this Amrit, which Guru talks about. This Anand, the visitation of this Anand, and the knowing of the Spirit. So then there are two worlds. One is the physical world, which is constantly changing, and one is the spiritual world, which never changes. One is a flux of good and bad, high and low, a change in everything. Happiness and sorrow, rich and poor, all in dualities, because the energies are divided in a balance. If everything was happy, then happiness would lose its meaning. If the whole world was colored white and there was no other color, we could never see anything. So these dualities are created for an understanding of flow of life. And that is how nature creates them. And that is our trap. Because we feel that certain conditions, certain things will give us happiness, and they seem like they will be forever when we choose them. A lover falls in love, and he or she says, this is all I need forever. But it's not forever. Anything which is built on the physical stages of life is temporary, transient, and built on change. It's not a permanent root system. The Anand which Guru Amardas is talking about is not built on any conditions. It's a state of mind. And that's the reason it is so misunderstood, because we never visit that state of mind. Guru Amardas is today telling us how important this quest is for Amrit, and how much we seek it, in what intensity, when the entire creation, all of us beings, are seeking this Amrit, this Anand, happiness forever. And we don't find it. So life is a big disappointment for most of us. We don't know it yet, but we will know it at death, because that's when the culmination happens. We keep living life thinking we will never die. That is how life is. If we think we will die, then everything about life will change. Our choices will change. Our defining ourselves will change. The way of us looking at wealth will change. Relationships will change, because we will then realize this is all but dying. All our relationships are dying. All our wealth is dying. All our identity is dying. Everything is in the process of dying. Death only happens in a minute, but the process is a lifetime. The whole lifetime we are in the process of dying, changing our identity every day. Heraclitus says, man never enters the same river twice. And human beings never enter the same life again. We live a new life every minute. And that is our frustration, that is our conflict, that is our instability, insecurity. And in our core, we keep seeking more and more to see that maybe we will be fulfilled if we get more. But that's all a trap. The more we have, the more we will lose. Maharaj says Sur Nar. Sur is the supreme beings, the devatas of life. Nar, the humans. Mun, those munis who are working with their mind. Jan, all the people in this creation. Amrit Khojde, they are all seeking Amrit. They are seeking happiness forever, no death. Is there such a state of being? Is there such a state where there is no death? Is there such a state where there is happiness forever? If there is, then it's a serious subject to look at. And if there is not, then maybe life is a tragedy. The problem is that we don't experience this Anand. We talk about it, we discuss it. Maharaj will, in one of his podis ahead, will say, Anand, Anand sabko kahe. Everybody talks of Anand, but nobody visits Anand. And since we don't visit it, we only imagine it. And imagination is a far cry for spirituality. Unless we know it, unless we have lived it, unless it is an experience open to us, it's only words. It's only being flown into a river, being washed into a river with no controls and just words. Does this Anand lie within us? And if it lies within us, where does it lie? How do we get it? Maharaj says, so Amrit Gur te paya. There's a big debate Judo Krishnamurti had in this world when he said there is no need for Guru. Maharaj says without the Guru. Guru would actually be defined as Jukti, method. But here it means Guru. Without the Guru, we don't get Amrit. How do we do this, Maharaj? How do we transcend from the physical world, moving mind, to the non-moving mind? For this, we need to visit the structure of the mind. We need to understand how the mind is structured and how we live it. We only know the thought mind, the moving thoughts, and in the transient movement, we sometimes lose sight of our thoughts also completely. Random thoughts flow throughout our lives. Maharaj says that there are two states of mind. One he calls man eh man. Eh man le jiyo, un man rahe. The teen log ki baatein kahe. Maharaj defines the mind now. Ahman Shakti, Ahman Shiv. This mind, the moving mind, is the Maya, the Shakti. Shiv, from the source of the creator, the mind is created. This is the ego mind, always changing, always different, always confused, wanting to define itself. The ego is always full of trishna, desire. It's seeking the physical in a desperation to understand happiness. And this ego is fearful. And the reason for it to be fearful is because it has a very insecure environment. Everything is changing in this physical world. I may have a lot of money today, I have none tomorrow. So if I have a lot of money, I work all my life to safeguard that money. And my life is gone, and then the money is also gone. This is how life is. We all live this life. And most of us will go away failure from this life. And the reason why Guru Granth Sahib, Guru Gobind Singh Sahib, Guru Nanak Sahib, Dasam Guru Sahiban, and this Bani is presented to us is to make us understand life. And then know this Amrit. Know this Anand. If we know this Amrit, if we know this Anand, then life is not a failure. Because that means that we don't die. And we also have found happiness. So a state of being where there is no death and happiness is the Amrit of this world. Maharaj says, so Amrit Gur te paya. The Guru gives it to us. How does the Guru give us this Amrit? Ahman Shakti, Ahman Shiv. From the source mind, Shiv, from the creator, this Maya Shakti, Shiv and Shakti, this play happens. Ahman Panch Tat ka Jiv. This physical mind, the moving mind, the changing mind needs the physical identity to exist. It needs the body. It needs Panch Tat. And that's how it finds its expression. The I am is entirely based on the physical body. When the body is gone, the I is also shredded. That I is gone, a new I will be born when the new body comes. The man will have its baggage. So the mind has two aspects, the changing mind, the moving mind, that mind which is in flux, confusion, thoughts, thinking mind. Ahman Shakti, Ahman Shiv, Ahman Pachatat ka Jiv, Ahman Le Jiv. The day this moving mind is dropped, the day we lose, or this moving mind loses its grip on us, that day we will visit a new man. Ahman Le Jiv Unman Rahe. Guru calls this Unman. Unman is a word actually which comes from the yogic traditions, like Sukhmana Nadi, Ida, Pingla, Sukhmana. Those are words the yogis use. Maharaj says the man which doesn't change, what does it have in it? What does it contain? And how do I visit that man? This change from the moving mind to the non-moving mind has a very critical aspect which is changing when this happens. That's the I. The ego lives only with the moving mind. The moment we drop the ego, the moving mind is gone. And then we can, with Gur Prasad, visit the non-moving mind. In the physical sense, if I have to relate it to the physical body, then you know the third eye is your center for, is your limit for the moving mind. That's the limit till which I will go. Ego will never go beyond the third eye, the Trikuti. And there the three elements of guns, they will culminate as one. The third eye becomes one. And there it will rest till the day it finds Gur Prasad. So the Shabad has to be brought to the third eye. It will go there naturally. You don't need to make an effort. What people call Kundalini, what people call yogis call breathing. Let me do breathing and then I will open. This all will open with Gur Prasad, but the preparation for Gur Prasad is the ability to drop the moving mind. Chalte ho man rakhe, amrit chakhe. Drop the moving mind and you will meet the Gur Prasad. If the Guru wants, he will give us the vision of the Unman. This Amrit is opened by a Guru. We can't do it because I can't drop myself on my own. That's something which is impossible. How I can drop myself? I can't drop myself. The Guru gives me the ability to drop the I. And then I live the I world and the non-I world both together till I don't reach the Turiya. The culmination of this physical world is in Turiya, when all the three guns are gone and the man or the human being transcends into the non-ego state of Sada, Amrit, forever, preparing the last life of the physical world. So, Maharaj is saying this Guru will bless us with. We need to prepare and the Guru will bless us. Guru Gobind Singh Sahib blesses us with this Amrit. And if we relate it to Shabad Guru, because we don't have physical Guru, we have Shabad Guru, then let's understand how this plays out in the Shabad Guru. When Maharaj talks about the ego, Home kitho upje, kith sanjay mein jaye, where does the ego come about? And how will it go away? This is the core question. One more question about the Home from Siddhgosht, which Guru Nanak Sahib Maharaj tells us. Kit kit bid jag upje purkha, kit kit dukh binas jai. How does the world come about, Maharaj? Tell us this one. How does the world come about for me? And how will my pain go away? Maharaj says, Home vidya gupje purkha. When I is created, the world comes about for me. Without the I can never play in this world. Naam visarya dukh pai. When I forget name, Naam, the state beyond the ego, I will find pain and sorrow. Every life which has not found Naam, which is not centered in Naam, which doesn't have Naam as its foundation, is going to be painful, sorrowful, a regretful life, a losing game, a zero sum. You win everything and you lose everything. You became a billionaire and then you left a pauper. नांगे पांव पे गए जिनके लाख करोड़. Guru Maharaj tells us this, that the state of human endeavor in the physical is left in the physical. If we play the game of the physical knowing that I have to leave the physical, then there is no pain. I got onto a train to go to Chandigarh and I got off at Chandigarh. There's no pain. I know I have to get in, I get off. But it's different in this life. We get confused. We forget the getting off. We forget the death. We forget we have to die. And we get absorbed by this day-to-day investments of life we have done. The cricketer forgets there is a world beyond the cricket field. All his life is the cricket field. Those are our choices. We don't know the realm beyond the ego. Maharaj says, pain will visit us if we are not in Naam. Then now the question, Home kitho upje? Where does the ego come about? Kit sanjay mein jaye, how does it go away? Home hukum hai. This is the Creator's order. That is how we have entered this game, this Leela. है परपंच पार ब्रह्म की लीला. The creators play. We are only a droplet in the ocean to be merged back in the ocean, and we think we are. If a droplet resists being a droplet, does resist merging back in the ocean, how will it feel? We are like that. Our core identity is not the I. The I is not our life. It's an opportunity for knowing life. Life is this life of Amrit. The rest of it is all misery. If you are immortal and you are in pain and sorrow, then life becomes an immortal game of sorrow and pain. But Guru says Amrit, happiness, Anand, and no death. The opposite spectrum of what we are saying. Maharaj says, Paya Amrit Gur Kirpa Kini, Sacha Man Vasaya. The truthful man, the real man, the un man. When the Guru makes us visit that man, and how does that happen? Let me explain this. हमें एओ हुक्म है पहिए किर्त फराए हमें दीर्घ रोग है. This is an intense disease. दारू भी इसमाए. The disease has the medicine with it. Kirpa करे जे अपनी. If the kirpa comes from the Guru, the Guru ka Shabad kamaye, then I make Shabad my home. I make Shabad my permanent reality. I make Shabad my friend. I make Shabad my solution. Life's solution lies in the Shabad. Kirpa kare je apni, the Gur ka Shabad kamaye. Nanak kahe suno jano, it sanjam dukh jaye. This is how pain goes. Pain will go with Shabad. And how do I befriend Shabad? How do I merge with Shabad to the point where the I is gone? This is the key. Kadiye Shabad Sachi Taksal. The I is chiseled away by the Shabad. Slowly, 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 slowly. It takes and drops the Shabad, the I forever. And how do I visit the Shabad? Starts from the Vakri. Gaviye suniye man rakhiye pa. We sing, we listen, and with love, we go into Shabad. Shabad is the Creator's word, the Creator's presence, where I merged into the ocean, where I dropped my ego through the Shabad. Home Shabad jalai, Maharaj says. Shabad will burn this ego and make us merge with our Creator, make us find Anand. Maharaj says, Paya Amrit Gur Kirpa Kini, Sacha Man Vasaya. The truthful mind, the mind which is forever. Is man ko koi khojo pai, tan chute man kahan samai? The body goes, where does the mind go? What does it become? How do I know this man? Search within you, he says. Go in, like the Sufis talk about the 11th direction. Go within. Go beyond your thoughts. Go deeper into the man. And you will know what is the reality of death. What is life? What is Anand? What is that realm where there is forever happiness? Where does it lie? He says, lies within you. Sacha man vasaya, within your man. Seek within your man and you will find happiness, your Anand, unconditional happiness. Ji jant sab tud upay, ek vek person aaya. The whole creation, all these people are created by the nature, by Creator, by our Creator. And many of us will find the Guru in this life. Ik here doesn't mean one, it means many. Ik vek person aaya. We have come to seek and find our Creator through this life. Maharaj said this is an opportunity. भाई प्राप्त मानुख दे हुरिया, गोबिंद मिलन की है तेरी परिया. Make this an endeavor, make this your project. This is your time to meet your creator, your source mind. What is at my source? What is it that is at the foundation of the man? That is Anand. Sat Chit Anand, that is the truth. Never changes. Chit, that is my man. That is Anand. Always lying within me, but never opened by me. Always I am wandering in thoughts only. I don't want to go beyond thoughts. I don't want to drop my ego. So I never meet the Creator. I never meet my Anand. I never meet the unconditioned mind where Sada, there is no death. Death is physical. The body will die. But the man will not die. That man which has found Anand has found a different identity from the physical one which we had. That person has defined his life in a different way. Defined it through the spirit, through the Atma. And the Atma is forever. So that identity, if we think and do dhyan of that identity, he or she will be there in front of us because he is Samagaya. He is merged with the Creator. So he is everywhere. Like our gurus are everywhere. Ji jant sab to dupaye. एक वेख पर्सन आया, लब लोग हंकार चूका. Now in the physical world it's all about greed, love, the senses, the physical traps of life, winning at the cost of the other. That's the greed. I want to get more, the other should have less. Lab log ahankar, the ego is gone. Chuka, gone. Then what happens? Satguru palapaya. The Guru has been found. You have found the state where the Guru is. The Guru has done this for us. Palapaya, paya. Maharaj says, Keh Nanak, Jisnu aap tutta. One who is chosen by the Guru, blessed by the Guru, where the Gur Prasad happens. One who Guru is happy with, blesses with. There, then Amrit Gur te paya. So he or she finds Anand, Amrit, a life with no death, a life with joy, happiness. This lies within us all, but we are seeking for it outside. Maharaj says, Sur Nar Munjan Amrit Khoj De. We are all seeking this Amrit. And Guru will give us this Amrit through the Shabad. So how? Gaviye suniye man rakhiye pao. Dukh par har sukh kar le jaye. This Amrit is like a ladder. Takes us from the physical plane to the spiritual plane. This Shabad is like a ladder. So if we befriend the Shabad in the man, the play between Surt and Shabad, the thoughtless mind and the Shabad, that is where this Anand is revealed. We need dhyan for this. We need the Trikuti for this. And then the Guru's presence. For knowing this, not imagining it, not talking about it and not knowing it, which most of us do. Most of us talk about Anand, like me. People talk about Anand, not know it. But how do I know and live this Anand? Then I don't need to talk about it. I know it. When will it happen? Maharaj says, flash of an eyelid. This Heman to Unman, the state of mind from the ego man to the non-ego mind, transcendence will happen in the flash of a second. Narte upaj swarg ko jeetyo. He says, Nimak, within flash of a second, you will transcend the ego mind to the non-ego mind with Gur Prasad. Jin manas te devte kiye, kartana lagi var. From a human being to a superhuman. The superhuman is who? One who knows this Anand. One who has found this Amrit. This is the potential of human life. This is the potential of finding a kingdom which will be never taken away. It is like a kingdom. What does the king do? He has the freedom to do whatever he wants, and he seeks his happiness. This Anand is the kingdom. It is happiness, which any king would envy. He would be wanting this. He also doesn't have it. But one who has this happiness is living the life of a king, because his happiness is more valuable than a king's. A king's happiness is transcendent. It's today happy, tomorrow sorrow, tomorrow death. Maharaj, an understanding of what is life has to do with our understanding of our seeking happiness, seeking a life without death. If you really look at the core, all humanity is wanting to transcend age. You use this serum, you use this, you become ageless. You transcend age, you don't age at all. What are you trying to say? You want to live forever. Maulana Rumi is a saint from Persia. Maulana Jalaluddin Rumi, a 13th, 14th century mystic. In one of his Masnavis, in his couplet, he talks about death and life. And he says, death and life are 2 feet of creation. One is life and the other is death. If you will take away death from life, there will be no life. Just like this bird who meets Alexander, tells him, I have found misery. In this immortality, I am miserable. I want to die. I'm seeking death, but I can't die. So immortality and happiness together is what is Amrit, not immortality by itself. And who becomes immortal? The Creator is immortal. By merging with the Creator, I become immortal. By losing my identity, I become immortal. But if that identity is sought after, then it becomes present. Where? Everywhere. So when somebody comes on YouTube and says, this is how Guru Gobind Singh Sahib is, this is the color, this is the picture, I know this is all wrong. They don't know anything about Guru Gobind Singh Sahib. Guru doesn't exist in form and shape. He is not a photo. He is not a sculpture. Guru is a presence, energy, everywhere. You do his dhyan and he is there. There is no space in this world where Guru Gobind Singh Sahib is not. He is everywhere. The day he wants to show that to us, we will see it. We can't see it without that. We can't see him or his presence or feel him with our own ego. But if he graces us, blesses us, gives us Gur Prasad, then we can see. But of course, that is conditional on many things, on many aspects. Our relationship with our Guru, our relationship with spirituality, our seeking, our subtlety of our man, how gross is our mind or how subtle. All these things are conditional. Maharaj says, Kahe Nanak, Jisnu aap tutta. One who is blessed by him, loved by him, chosen by him or her, whatever, by the Creator, by the Guru. Then Amrit Gur te paya. They have found Amrit. Maharaj, they don't need to seek happiness outside. They only want to sit in their dhyan and they are happy. Well, they will live through happiness and sorrow like we do also in the ego sense, because as long as you are living the ego life, you will live by the same rules. But ultimately, when all life is gone away, they are all Anand. There is nothing else for them. Ranjit Kaur ji can do the second Pauri, the 14th Pauri.
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਵੀਰ ਜੀ।
ਜੀ
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ। ਭਗਤਾਂ ਕੀ ਚਾਲ ਨਿਰਾਲੀ, ਚਾਲਾ ਨਿਰਾਲੀ ਭਗਤ ਹੈ ਕੀਰੀ, ਬਿਖਮ ਮਾਰਗ ਚੱਲਣਾ, ਲਬ ਲੋਭ ਅਹੰਕਾਰ ਤਜ ਤ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨਾ, ਬਹੁਤ ਨਾਹੀ ਬੋਲਣਾ, ਖਨਿਓ ਤਿੱਖੀ ਵਾਲੋ ਨਿੱਕੀ, ਏਤ ਮਾਰਗ ਜਾਣਾ, ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦੀ ਜਿਨੀ ਆਪ ਤਜਿਆ, ਹਰ ਵਾਸਨਾ ਸਮਾਣੀ, ਕਹੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਚਾਲ ਭਗਤਾਂ, ਜੁਗੈ ਜੁਗ ਨਿਰਾਲੀ। ਭਗਤਾਂ ਕੀ ਚਾਲ ਨਿਰਾਲੀ, ਚਾਲਾ ਨਿਰਾਲੀ ਭਗਤਾਂ ਕੇਰੀ, ਬਿਖਮ ਮਾਰਗ ਚੱਲਣਾ, ਲਬ ਲੋਭ ਅਹੰਕਾਰ ਤਜ ਤ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨਾ, ਬਹੁਤ ਨਾਹੀ ਬੋਲਣਾ, ਖਨਿਓ ਤਿੱਖੀ ਵਾਲੋ ਨਿੱਕੀ, ਏਤ ਮਾਰਗ ਜਾਣਾ, ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦੀ ਜਿਨੀ ਆਪ ਤਜਿਆ, ਹਰ ਵਾਸਨਾ ਸਮਾਣੀ, ਕਹੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਚਾਲ ਭਗਤਾਂ, ਜੁਗੈ ਜੁਗ ਨਿਰਾਲੀ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ।
Maharaj, we visit a very interesting aspect in the 14th Pauri, Bhagat. Who is a Bhagat? We can safely say Gurbani defines the Bhagat as someone who looks at Sukh and Dukh as the same. We have defined our life by our conditions. Suppose those conditions are gone, then how do we define life? We go for an interview, we say, I am a graduate, I am a PhD, I have these credentials, I have done this experience, this is what I do, this is what I know, this is all me. But when all this is gone, what is there? If my life gives us these defining parameters, if I give up these aspects of life, then how would my life be? We are being defined by our external environment, by our choices, by the other, so to say, in our life. What if all of this is gone? Then how will life be? Think for a moment. I don't have any credentials to say I have this course. I don't have any money which defines me. I don't define myself with any relationships. The defining principle of a Bhagat is his spirituality, not his physical reality. That changes everything. Maharaj says these are special people, Nirali. They are not normal people. Bhagta ki chal Nirali, their approach and attitude of life is different. We judge them with the physical world, but they are beyond our judgment. They are beyond these physical realities which we choose. So our vision of a Bhagat is only through those conditions which we know, through those value systems which we have created. And those are all transient. Those are not some things which live forever. Those are just time-bound. Today, tomorrow gone. We will visit one Bhagat. In the end of this body, we want to understand a Bhagat, the reality of a Bhagat, and we may be shocked by what is the reality. Chala Nirali, Bhagta Keri, Bikam Marag Chalna. Theirs is a very difficult path. I remember I had left social life in Delhi for 4 or 5 years when I was with Sant Niranjan Singh. And by some painful situation, I had to return back, which I never wanted to do, but I had to come back. And I remember meeting a person who looked at me and said, "You have become a saint." Not in the judgment way, but a very sarcastic way. I kept quiet and listened to it, and I was wondering, what I'm trying to say is here, who is a saint, who is to judge, who is to know, I have no credentials I have got from my life with him. I don't carry any physical signals from him. No. So much as we like to say, these are Guru's shoes, these are Guru's clothes, they have their value. But the Guru is beyond physical in many ways, in every way. So the identity of a spiritual person is completely spiritual, nothing to do with physical. And he is no way of showing his spiritual aspect to anyone. And we like to judge people by the physical, by how he talks, how he or she knows, expresses himself. So he knows. We feel he knows when we don't know. We don't know who's a sant. We don't know what a sant is. We don't know who is a spiritual person. We don't know what is Dasandwa. We have no experience of this Anand. And we feel we know and we judge. Isn't this a tragedy? What a waste. A subject we have no knowledge of. We try and judge others and say, we know this. This person knows, this one doesn't know. And then we give certificates to people. You did this course. You did this Vipassana course. You may find it without doing anything. And you may not find it after doing everything. This is not related to the physical aspects and how we look at life. The choosing of the charisma of the spiritual opening of life has to do with the Guru's choice and our preparation for it. A Guru can intervene in our life and solve our issues in the flash of an eyelid. नर ते ऊपर स्वर्ग को जीत्यो, सौ खुद में पाई, जिन मानस ते देवते की करतना लागी वार. Knowing this Anand makes a human being super special, a bhagat. Not knowing it, normal. We live and die. All of us have to do that. Maharaj says, Lab log hankar taj trishna. Now in the first 13th body, he didn't use the word trishna, but hankar, lust, greed, lab lob, and hankar, I am. If it is gone, the trishna is also gone. Trishna is our endless desire and a bottomless pit of desire where it never gets fulfilled. Lab, lob, ahankar, taj trishna. Bahut nahi bolna. Doesn't want to speak much because speaking is a ventilation of energy. It gives out energy from within us. So if we speak too much, we give out this energy. And he doesn't want to speak too much. He or she who knows. Khaniyo tikhi, walo nikki, et marg jana. Now Maharaj said this is a very sharp sword. The Bhagat walks a very difficult path. And it's a very subtle, walo nikki, very subtle, very narrow, very balanced way of living, where he can drop at any time, he or she. Et marg jana. The Bhagat lives a very difficult life because he doesn't live in the physical. The basis of his life is not the physical. Khaniyo tikhi walo nikki, et marg jana, gur prasadi jin aap tajya, har vasana samani. One who gives himself with Guru Prasad, with Guru's grace, when we give up our ego, then we become one with the Guru, Vasana Samani. The Guru's will and our will becomes the same. Gur Prasadi jin aap tajya, har Vasana Samani, kahe Nanak, chal bhagta, jugo jug nirali. So the Bhagat's life is forever timeless, different, special. Bhagat Kabir's relationship with his mother. Here is a Bhagat defined in the Guru Granth Sahib. His mother says what about him? Saat soot in mundiyo khoye, hai mundiya kyun na moya. The mother is talking about Bhagat Kabir. And Saat Soot is the 7 color soot which the weavers weave 7 color cloth, which is very special, which Kabir sold away to look after the visitors in the house. So she says, Saat Soot in Mundiyo Khoy. He has gone and given up this cloth of 7 colors. Eh Mundiyo Kyu na moya. Why didn't he die? This is the relationship between a mother and a Bhagat. The physical reality of support system is zilch, is not there. The mother is saying this about her son. You can understand the pain which is on the other side and how misunderstood Kabir is by his own mother. So in this way, the Bhagat is in the physical world, he is a very lonely person. But in the spiritual world, he is not lonely. He is never lonely. Then in another place, she says, Ik doi mandir, ik doi baat. One person who comes to meet Kabir is in the house, one is on the way. These are the people coming to seek spiritual guidance from Kabir. Humko sathur, unko khat. He makes us sleep on the ground and they sleep on the cot, Then, Moond Palos, Kamar Bad Pothi. He has always a book with him. Humko chadan, unko roti. Humko chaban. He gives us hardly anything to eat and he gives them the house's food. Mundiya hoy ek. They become one. When they are in the family, they come, Kabir and his seekers, they become one, friendly. Mundiyo hoy ek. Mundiyo budat ki tek. Sun andli loe bepar. In Mundiyo paj saran Kabir. So these people have driven me into misery, she says. The mother is talking about Kabir. This is the life of a Bhagat. And how does Kabir approach life? Swarg baas na bachiye. I don't seek heaven. Swarg baas na bachiye, dariye na nark nivas. Nor am I scared of hell. I do not want heaven. I am not scared of hell. Hona hai so hoy hai. Manhe na kije aas. From my mind, I don't ask for anything. Whatever is happening will happen. What do I do then? Ramaiya gun gaiye. I sing the Guru's praise, the God's praise. Ramaiya gun gaiye. Jate paiye param nidhan. From him I will find the real treasures of life. This is how Bhagat Kabir approaches life. How the physical relationships which we look at, how are they in his life? This is an example of what Guru is talking about as a Bhagat. How difficult the Bhagat's life is and how special it is. 13th and 14th Pauri. Kahe Nanak Chal Bhagta Jugo Jug Nirali. The way a Bhagat lives is special and it is timeless. Any questions? Today we had a problem, so I'm sorry about that, but our power went away somehow. Ji. No questions. Ranjit Kaur ji, can we say Anand Sahib?
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਵੀਰ ਜੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਰਾਮ ਕਲੀ ਮਹਿਲਾ ਤੀਜਾ ਆਨੰਦ ਕੀ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਅਨੰਦ ਪਿਆ ਮੇਰੀ ਮਾਈ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਮੈਂ ਪਾਇਆ ਸਤਿਗੁਰਤਾ ਪਾਇਆ ਸਹਿਜ ਸੇਤੀ ਮਨ ਵਸਿਆ ਵਾਧਾਈਆ ਰਾਗ ਰਤਨ ਪਰਵਾਰ ਭਰਿਆ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਗਾਵਣ ਆਈਆ ਸਭ ਦੋਤ ਗਾਵੋ ਹਰਿ ਤੇਰਾ ਮਨ ਜਿਨੀ ਵਸਾਇਆ ਕਹਿ ਨਾਨਕ ਆਨੰਦ ਹੋਆ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਮੈਂ ਪਾਇਆ ਏ ਮਨ ਮੇਰਿਆ ਤੂੰ ਸਦਾ ਰਹੋ ਹਰਿ ਨਾਲੇ ਹਰਿ ਨਾਲ ਰਹੋ ਤੂੰ ਮਨ ਮੇਰੇ ਦੁੱਖ ਸਭ ਵਿਸਾਰਣਾ ਅੰਗੀਕਾਰ ਉਹ ਕਰੇ ਤੇਰਾ ਕਾਰਜ ਸਭ ਸਵਾਰਣਾ ਸਭਨਾ ਗਲਾ ਸਮਰਥ ਸੁਆਮੀ ਸੋ ਕਿਉ ਮਨੋ ਵਿਸਾਰੇ ਕਹਿ ਨਾਨਕ ਮਨ ਮੇਰੇ ਸਦਾ ਰਹੋ ਹਰਿ ਨਾਲੇ ਸਾਚੇ ਸਾਹਿਬਾ ਕਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਤੇਰਾ ਘਰ ਤਾਂ ਤੇਰਾ ਸਭ ਕੁਛ ਹੈ ਜਿਸ ਦੇ ਹੈ ਸੋ ਪਾਵੇ ਸਦਾ ਸਿਫਤ ਸਲਾਹ ਤੇਰੀ ਨਾਮ ਮਨ ਵਸਾਵੇ ਨਾਮ ਜਿਨ ਕੇ ਮਨ ਵਸਿਆ ਵਾਚੇ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਮੇਰੇ ਕਹਿ ਨਾਨਕ ਸੱਚੇ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਤੇਰਾ ਸਾਚਾ ਨਾਮ ਮੇਰਾ ਆਧਾਰ ਸਾਚ ਨਾਮ ਆਧਾਰ ਮੇਰਾ ਜਿਨ ਭੁੱਖਾਂ ਸਭ ਗਵਾਈਆਂ ਕਰ ਸ਼ਾਂਤ ਸੁਖ ਮਨ ਆਏ ਵਸਿਆ ਜਿਨ ਇੱਛਾ ਸਭ ਪੁਜਾਈਆਂ ਸਦਾ ਕੁਰਬਾਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਵਿਟੋ ਜਿਸ ਦੀਆਂ ਵਡਿਆਈਆਂ ਕਹਿ ਨਾਨਕ ਸੁਣੋ ਸੰਤੋ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਕਰੋ ਪਿਆਰੋ ਸਾਚਾ ਨਾਮ ਮੇਰਾ ਆਧਾਰੋ ਵਾਜੇ ਪੰਜ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਤਿਤ ਘਰ ਸਭਾਗੇ ਘਰ ਸਭਾਗੇ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਵਾਜੇ ਕਲਾ ਜਿਤ ਕਰਤਾਰੀਆ ਪੰਜ ਦੂਤ ਤੁਧ ਵਸ ਕੀਤੇ ਕਾਲ ਕੰਟਕ ਮਾਰਿਆ ਤੁਰ ਕਰਮ ਪਾਇਆ ਤੁਜਨ ਕੋ ਸੇ ਨਾਮ ਹਰ ਕੇ ਕਹਿ ਲਾਗੇ ਕਹਿ ਨਾਨਕ ਕਹਿ ਸੁਖ ਹੋਆ ਤਿਤ ਕਰ ਅਨਹਦ ਵਾਜੇ ਆਨੰਦ ਸੁਣੋ ਵਡ ਭਾਗਿਓ ਸਗਲ ਮਨੋਰਥ ਪੂਰੇ ਪਾਰ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਪਾਇਆ ਉਤਰੇ ਸਗਲ ਸੂਰੇ ਦੁਖ ਰੋਗ ਸੰਤਾਪ ਉਤਰੇ ਸੁਣੀ ਸੱਚੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਸੰਤ ਸਾਜਨ ਤੇ ਸਰਸੇ ਪੂਰੇ ਗੁਰ ਤੇ ਜਾਣੀ ਸੁਣਤੇ ਪੁਨੀਤ ਕਹਤੇ ਭਗਤ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਰਹਿਆ ਪਰ ਪੂਰੇ ਬਿਨਵੰਤ ਨਾਨਕ ਗੁਰ ਚਰਨ ਲਾਗੇ ਵਾਜੇ ਅਨਹਦ ਤੂਰੇ ਸੁਣਤੇ ਪੁਨੀਤ ਕਹਤੇ ਭਗਤ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਰਹਿਆ ਪਰ ਪੂਰੇ ਬਿਨਵੰਤ ਨਾਨਕ ਗੁਰ ਚਰਨ ਲਾਗੇ ਵਾਜੇ ਅਨਹਦ ਤੂਰੇ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਸੋ ਮਚ। Mm.